Yeah, I think we're super proud of Sam and Hani to get the recognition that, in my opinion, they deserve. I thought from the beginning they've had an all-star level season, so I think it's a great honor for them to be recognized. I think it's also a testament to sort of the team that we have here and their contributions to the team's performances. So far, it's been a good 2/3 of the season, and again, I think you see individual accolades come when you have a really good team and a team-first mindset that goes from the top to the bottom of the roster. For Columbus, we're excited to be back to Geodis Park. We know it's a place that we've had a lot of success this year, put in some good performances, welcoming a really good team, a team that's in really good form. They're healthy. They've got a lot of depth, a lot of really strong players. Wilfred's probably one of the top, if not the top coach in the league. He's got a great staff, so we're expecting a real high level battle and one that we'll be up for.
Thanks. We'll start with Ben and go ahead and ask you to go.
Yeah, you just talked about Sam and Hani, and obviously they're kind of big pieces of your attack and your. I know you've talked about wanting to score 50 goals this season. How do you feel just about the collective ability, not just for Sam and Hani, but to create and finish chances, and where that kind of is at this point in the season?
Yeah, I think they've been the beneficiaries of really good team performances. You see, these guys have to get service from somewhere. Someone has to provide goal scoring opportunities, and I think there's been a great cast. And Andy Nahar made the All-Star team primarily based on his ability to earn assists and be an attacking-minded fullback. I also think that Sam and Hani can't just be focused on by the opponent, because we do have a lot of attacking weapons. So you kind of, if you want to focus on two, someone else is going to step up and get it. And I really am happy about the team and how we've been scoring goals across all phases of play, right? So we can do it in build-up, we can do it through transition, we're doing it through attacking set pieces. And so for us, again, we know if we continue to play the way that we want to play, and we're consistent with it, and we stick with it, individuals would get recognized through really good team performances.
And then I wanted to ask about Darlington Nagbe specifically. I think he kind of maybe goes under the radar a little bit, but against Cincinnati, he was just press resistant and kind of at the heart of everything they did. How do you plan for a guy like him who kind of looks pretty nonchalant, but just does all the stuff that you could want from a midfielder?
Yeah, I think Darlington's great, because I think to a casual soccer fan, maybe you get drawn to goals and assists. And he doesn't get a lot of goals and assists, but he rarely makes a pass to the opponent, rarely gets dispossessed, and he really controls the tempo and really sets the tempo for Columbus. So for us, it's making sure that we're aware of him, where he is. The more that we can force him to play backwards, I think helps, for us. But yeah, I mean, his credit is he's been doing it for a long time. What a career, and he does it, week in and week out, and that stacks on to years in and years out. So somebody we have to be really focused on, somebody we are going to be focused on, but at the same time, he's not the only thing, because Columbus is really good, and we've got to stop a bunch of guys.
Yeah, BJ, you had Philly, then Miami, and Columbus in the league at least. 3 Supporter Shield contenders coming in back to back. What's the difference between playing those teams who are, upper echelon of MLS versus DC, who aren't a bad team necessarily, but just struggling when you meet them? How is the preparation different between those two?
I think when you see you see teams like Philly, Columbus, Miami, right? The games have less moments in them. But like the games are, each team is trying to execute what they want to do. You have to execute what you want to do at a high level, and then you really have to take your chances. So for us, it's like when you get into these high level games, it's about really how can you execute, and when you have these moments, finish. And I'm not even just saying scoring goals. It could be making a block on a goal scoring chance, making a big save or a clearance, or something of that nature. Like, you have to be really dialed in, because if you're not, really good teams punish you right away.
And then on the MLS transfer window is kind of ongoing at the moment. How involved are you? I know you have a lot on your plate, obviously, on the pitch, but how involved are you in those discussions and stuff that's going on kind of in the front office?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would always say we're really collaborative here. So I always say, like, I have a seat at the table, but I think there's a group. There's obviously a group, and and of course I have a seat at a couple other tables that I have to take care of as well. So we've got great trust in starting with Mike and Chance and the whole scouting department, but we're certainly working in a really collaborative way. Not only during the transfer window, but throughout the whole season, and we're always going to try to improve our squad. We owe it, it's our obligation to the fans of Nashville to constantly try to improve and put the best team out there that we can. But yeah, I would say we're, collaboratively working, all the time to improve.
Right.
I know you never want to lose, but does this allow the team sort of a time to sort of reset in the final third of the season?
I mean, for us, I think it's just each game gives us an opportunity to learn. Miami brings some unique challenges to to the game in a good way. So I think for us, it was just, winning or losing, it was just an opportunity for us to kind of, look at, maybe reflect a little bit on where, we could be better and where we got exposed. The other thing it gave us an opportunity to reflect on is, like, we never set one of our goals this year to go on a 15-game winning streak or, non-losing streak, whatever. We set our goals that, we want to build a style of play. We want to compete with the elite of North America. We want to earn our way into the MLS playoffs, and we want to compete for the trophies that we can. 15-game winning streak or not, whatever, winless winning streak or not, it doesn't matter. We still have all of those objectives to go. And so for us, that's what we're focused on. We're focused on that each day when we think, kind of where we're going. And everything we have is in our control.
Columbus is coming in. They're, speaking of streaks, they haven't lost since May, I believe. Is it different playing a team that's sort of riding that high than a team sort of like DC or something like that?
Yeah, the starting point is Columbus is a really good team. It's going to be a massive challenge, but yeah, when you throw in a belief and guys in really good form, for sure. You can see the game versus Cincinnati, nothing rattles them. They go down 2-0. And they're such an experienced team, a team that's been together for so long, a team that's added some key pieces. That it's going to be, you need a complete performance for 90-plus minutes to beat them, and that's what it's going to take for us.
We got a John on the Zoom.
Maybe in particular about how your approach has been in terms of bringing Walker Zimmerman back into the rotation, and then maybe in general, what your approach is with so many games going on now. Your approach to rotation, is it just a matter of looking at minute play for guys, or is it more of an eye test when you see them and determine what kind of condition they're in?
Yeah, with Walker specifically, it's just making sure that we're, I would say, ramping him up in an appropriate and safe way. He had the opportunity to go with the national team, which is always a great honor. But at the same time, they're playing a lot of games, and he didn't get a lot of playing time. So, we just have to make sure that we integrate him and start to build his, I would say build his game minutes and game load and training load so that we don't have these big spikes and put him at injury risk. So we're, since he's returned, we've been, working with him to do that. In terms of squad rotation, yeah, whenever you're going to play this many games in this short of a time, you're going to count on a lot of players. I would say that it's a little bit of a mix between game minutes and sort of just general fatigue, but also when we think there's certain tactical matchups that can, essentially maybe exploit an opponent, we want to work that into sort of our strategy on how we rotate and when we rotate.
One more, apologies if you've referenced this lately, but just wondering if there's been any update on Tyler Boyd, or if he's getting any closer.
Yeah, Tyler's still on the exact timeline that we've had him. He's integrating into, I would say, elements and pieces of team training, and still continuing to do his extra work out on the field. But he's out on the field every day, running, shooting, and that type of stuff. So again, we're confident that he'll be back in basically the timeline that we expect.
Audio.
BJ, when you look at Columbus and you know how really one-armed they are, just about every piece of the field. But mainly, I want to ask about a couple of guys. Of course, I'm sure you're going to be worried about Diego Rossi, his scoring ability, but also maybe one of the players that perhaps we don't talk much around the league, but he's to me at least, he's one of the main players in the league, and it seems to me like Columbus has been around him. He's played for many years, Nagby. What can you tell about these two pieces in their formation?
Yeah, I think when you look at Columbus, it's a really balanced team. So you have a guy like Darlington Nagby, who I think is, as secure on the ball as anybody in the league and sets the tempo for them. You have Diego Rossi, who's a player that is comfortable in between the lines, running it back lines, making final passes. It doesn't matter how small the space is. He's someone who wants the ball. And then you can't be left to not be said that they also have a bunch of guys that will run behind the back line. So, you start to decide which one do you want to stop, and something else is going to be open. And so I think it's just such a really well-constructed team and a well-coached team that can, hurt you in many ways. And I think that's also why you've seen such high-level success and sustained success against them, because they're just they can beat you in multiple ways.
I apologize, BJ, if somebody already asked us that question, but I just got here. What does it mean for you as a coach to see that for the first time ever this franchise has 3 players called into the All-Star game, especially when you are your full first year in charge of everything here?
Yeah, I think the whole organization is super proud that we're able to do that. And again, I think it's also important that those 2 players that have been here. Hani's been here for 4 years, more than 4 years, but 4-time All-Star. Great to see Sam get the first time, and then also great to see Andy, who is someone that we acquired in the offseason to come in. So just different ways, different positions, different profiles, able to do it. And I think, again, it speaks volumes to what we're trying to build here at Nashville from the top to the bottom, and being really intentional in how we want to play, and again, continue to build this sort of team first mentality that individuals get recognized, and there could be more guys on our team that could be deserving of the All-Star nods, but that's okay. We'll stay humble and we'll stay hungry, and we'll try to finish the last third of the season off really strong.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back with Sam.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, obviously it's an amazing achievement. It's one of them. I probably didn't have my mind set on it, but at the same time, it's good to get recognised for stuff like that. My mind's always been focused on the team, and see my success and other people's successes kind of come with that. And it's nice to get noticed, but at the same time, I'm just looking forward to tomorrow's game, and it's nice. But yeah.
Thanks, Sam. We'll start with Brian this time. Go, Brian.
Playing Columbus, they seem to be in really good form, haven't lost since May. What's the challenge in facing a team that's sort of riding that hot streak?
Yeah, they're definitely obviously high on confidence, and we know it's like we obviously was in an unbeaten streak before Miami, and when sometimes you just ride the wave and you just can win games, you can grind games out. But I think we're also a really good team, and we know what we can do to hurt them, and hopefully we can try and stop their strengths. But we think we can. Obviously we think we can beat them. So we're confident, and hopefully we can do a good job tomorrow.
And I'm working on a separate story. You've played for a lot of teams in your career. What's the supporters like for Nashville SC at Geodis?
Yeah.
What is that like for you?
Yeah, it's really good. I think when I first come, I've joined, and we was in Leagues Cup, and the team was on a really good run. I think the loudest it's probably been was against. The last time it was obviously a final against Miami Leagues Cup, and then Philadelphia. I don't know if you guys were there, but I felt like that was probably a really good atmosphere compared to what we've had probably last season and this season, and I think that helped us probably get the win. And I think the atmosphere's definitely build. It helps when you're doing well, but I think it will need that throughout the season. So.
What?
Sam, what's the difference between playing against a team like Columbus, where they're trying to push, and how do you fine-tune your game versus somebody like DC, where they're sitting back?
Yeah,
what is the difference back for you in your position?
Yeah, it's obviously different. I'm someone who likes to run behind, and I think when you play teams like DC, they, like I said, they sit off, but they also they can go man for man pressing sometimes, which I think they did when they come here and we drew against them. They started man for man, and we had a lot of joy from that, but then they sat off and it made it difficult. But then once we got one goal, we got a few more, and yeah, I think that's the thing when teams sit off against us. I think once we get that first goal, we're pretty dangerous. But yeah, Columbus are completely different. They're also quite high pressing, so hopefully they leave space for us, and if not, then yeah, obviously we'll try and work around that. But yeah, looking forward to it, and it's a good challenge. I felt like we had a lot of joy when we played at their place, and we had a lot of chances, and we're a bit. I know they had a lot of possession, but still a bit disappointed, I think, in the end. So.
And then on the All-Star, did you watch it last season? Have you watched any of them? Have you watched the skill challenge? Are you familiar with that?
I know there is one. My brother's a massive. I'm actually going to take my brother. So he's older than me, but he's a massive fan. He loves all that sort of stuff, and yeah, he was really excited when I told him, and yeah, he showed me all the skill challenge. He's wondering which one. I think I'm doing one of the shooting ones. I'm not sure, but yeah, he was trying to figure out which one I'd do, and he's showing me all the stuff. But yeah, I'll probably get a lot of my revision from him, to be honest. But yeah, I'll watch him and see what I have to do. So yeah, it'll be fun. So.
Ben?
Yeah, Sam, obviously you guys try to press a lot, and you and Hani kind of lead a lot of that press from the front.
Yep.
What's it like playing a team like Columbus when all of their midfielders and everyone on the back line is just really comfortable with the ball?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. I think they're unique in the fact that they're probably one of the best teams in the MLS at keeping the ball, and it's really hard for us to get the ball back off them. So when we do get it back, we need to make it count, and I think it's just pressing at the right moments. Maybe we don't. I don't know. It's one of them things that we just have to get the right time in. Everyone has to work in unison. I think that's one of the hardest things to do, and but that's what I think BJ's come in and helped. So we're all trying to be on the same page rather than so it would be me going, just Hani going. I don't know, but. Yeah, now it's kind of, I feel like we're all trying to go at the same time, which it definitely helps.
And then just with your All-Star nomination and leading tied at the top of the scoring charts, I know you're the beneficiary of a lot of service. How much do you think like the All-Star selection kind of reflects just the work that the whole team is putting in? Yeah,
it's massive. I think when you have 3 people picked, obviously Andy was picked first and he was in the main. And then me and Hani have got added, but at the same time, it's just shows that we've all kind of just kept going, and like we're getting the rewards for that. And like I said, it's not just us. You could have picked another 3 players from the team that could have got it as well. So I think that's But at the same time, I think say lads that don't go. I think at the same time when I wasn't picked, I was the same. Like you sort of just want to carry on doing well in your club, and I felt like we've almost gone on the radar in a way where we've just kept picking up wins, kept picking up goals. Me and Hani. And we just keep doing what we're doing. I think we're going to keep doing that. And these next 3 games, we know how big they are this month, and we just want to do well in 3 games. And obviously the All Stars are a bonus, but at the end of the day, the All Stars going to finish, and we've got 10 games, whatever, to play, and it's their big 10 games. So.
Ross?
Sam, it's really going into the Miami game. You had 12 goals in the past 8 games. I think it was. Anything in particular that you've done different, or that's all of a sudden clicked for you that you could point towards?
It's hard to kind of say in form, but what I can say, I've kind of kept going. I've kind of kept doing my, say, routine from week to week. I've never kind of stopped. I've never moved away from what I felt like I've needed to do, like in terms of off the pitch stuff. I'd say on the pitch, I've definitely been playing more. I'd say more higher. I don't know. Sometimes maybe not getting attracted to the players much, maybe trying to stay away and stay more patient, because sometimes when you're not scoring, or you're not say the team's not winning, or you're drawing, you want to try and do something, you want to kind of help the team, but sometimes I've tried to stay more patient and just let people do what they have to do, and my job's at the end of the day to score goals. I know I've got other jobs in the team, but and I think probably just trying to do that, and obviously the team's been a beneficiary of that, because if I score, then a lot of time we do win. So probably that.
Is the goal is it in the mind?
It's obviously in the mind, but at the same time, like I think if I get to a certain amount of goals, I'm going to be happy. I think the thing is you got Messi, who's probably you don't know how many he's going to score. So I think one of them. If I get to a certain number and I'm happy, obviously the golden boot's a bonus, but at the same time, if I get my goals, I know we're going to win, and then if we're getting trophies, and I'm going to be just as happy. So. Yeah.
Sorry, do you have a number in mind that you want to share?
I wouldn't say it's hard to say put an exact number, but at the same time, it's like I could have told you at the start of the season I wanted to get 15, and now I'm on 16. So it's like I don't want to say a number, then I get more. I don't want to overshoot and then get less. So I've never been really one to say put a number on things, but at the same time, like I know what I'd feel comfortable with at the same time. So yeah, I don't want to say a number, then I overshoot, and then I don't get to one at the same time. So, but yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at, but at the same time, I probably know I could get more. So yeah, but then you look at last season, I've got more. But so I don't know. It's just one of them things. I think I just got to keep going, and yeah, we'll see where we get to. Yeah.
John on the Zoom.
Sam, I know you haven't missed many games, certainly this season, especially during the regular season games. Wondered how you're holding up, so many games here in this particular stretch and the hottest part of the season as well. Yeah, so first of all, how are you holding up physically, and B, I guess you kind of take that as a point of pride that you haven't needed seemingly to rotate much at all out of the lineup this regular season.
Yeah, it's one of them things. I think I talked about at the start of the season. I wanted to stay fit. I think last season I only played 28 games, and then I missed a couple of cup games. And I think this season I've been available for all of them. I've been rested a couple of cup games, but at the same time I've been available for every MLS game, and it's one that I had my mind set on. I want to play every game this year, and I think, like I said, if I do that, I know I'll get into a rhythm and I'll score my goals. And I think that was the main thing, is just staying fit and healthy, and not just being available, being ready to perform. And I think that's been a big thing for me this season, is staying fit and healthy. And credit to everyone I've worked with doing that so far. And I think that's probably one of the main things I don't talk about, where I've got to probably stay fit, and hopefully if I do that, then we'll get where we get to at the end of the season. Thanks.
Claudia?
Sam, the fact that the Columbus team has been able to come back from all those defeats this season, obviously it tells us as a team that tactically can change to try to find victories. How do you play against a team like this, which at any time can actually turn things around?
It's going to be a tough game. I think we've played tough opponents. So we played Philly last week. That was a massive game at home, and we won. And I think we're not looking too different. Obviously Miami, I felt like we were unlucky not to win that. And I think we're just going to go with the same mentality. We want to win every game, and we're probably looking more at ourselves and probably not so much at their record. At the same time, I think we know that we've got the ability to beat them, and I think that's all we're kind of focused on, to be honest.
Now, on the All-Star game, I know there's only a few minutes since you were let know that you're going to be there. Can we think about maybe a particular different celebration in case you could just score over there because of the stage?
Where's this, against Columbus? Or the All-Star?
And then the All-Star game.
Oh, the All-Star.
All-Star celebration.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure yet. I'll try and think of one. I'll probably let my brother decide what I do for that one. But yeah, maybe I'll see. I'm sure I'll have fun there, and we'll see what we can do.
All right, thanks so much, Sam.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.